Coming up on Look Today, well, Mayor Bob Blais of Lake George held a book signing to raise funds for the Lake George Arts Project. I've got details. Plus, we have continuing coverage of the 365 initiative in our Tri-North County region. More on that coming up. And Washington County Fair Camp helps inner city kids from Albany. I've got details on that. All ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson, this is Look Today. On tonight's program, I sit down with Michelle Larkin. She's Executive Director of Rebuilding Together Saratoga, and she's here to talk about this important organization and this store, which is opening in Ballston Spa. And I also sit down with Angela Miller. She's owner of Consider Bardwell Farm, and we're joined by Kelly Taylor. She's co-owner of R.S. Taylor & Sons Brewery, and they're here to talk about the 2017 Washington County Cheese Tour. Plus, we got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, Mayor Bob Blais of Lake George held a book signing today at the farmers market. He signed copies of his book, A View from the Top, and all proceeds from the sales are going to the Lake George Arts Project. Now, the book is a collection of stories and events during the mayor's tenure. Well, we were at the farmers market and we spoke to the mayor.
We're doing a book signing today in conjunction with our weekly farmers market. We have a market that's here every Wednesday from 10 to 3, and they allow an author to come and do book signing, and here I am.
Don't you love it he wrote a book? I do. Congratulations, Bob. And by the way, the public are invited to meet the new author every Wednesday at the farmers market in Lake George. Mayor Bob Blais chose to raise money for the Lake George Arts Project, and we spoke to him about this.
The Lake George Arts Project really enhances the quality of life that we have here in Lake George. They put on our Wednesday night concert series. They have a beautiful art gallery just north of us here in the Historical Museum. And John Strong, the director, also does the magnificent Jazz Festival in the fall. So hopefully some of these proceeds will help him to continue and expand his program.
I think Bob's been mayor for like 40 years or something. You can imagine what he's seen. All right, more Lake George news. The Lake George Regional Chamber of Commerce is expanding its effort to increase tourism all year long. Well, the Convention Tourism Bureau, which is part of the chamber, is responsible for an initiative that they're creating called 365. Now, the project is spearheaded by Kristen Hannafin and Mike Consulo. Well, Michael recently did announce that he will retire as president of the chamber at the end of this month. Well, we spoke to him about the initiative and his involvement after his retirement.
The one that we've been talking about a great deal is to expand the season, to make sure that we know, or that our visitors and decision makers know that it is a year-round destination and that you can come to Lake George and the region and have a wonderful experience any time of year.
Wow. All right, switching from news to weather. Well, after a night of some really stormy weather, the skies cleared up and fortunately a little less humidity. Let's see how the rest of the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponser with your first look weather forecast. We currently have a cold front boundary making its way through the southern states and also the mid-Atlantic. It's cleared out of our area. Maybe some residual showers on the back end of that low pressure system. High pressure moving in from the Midwest. It's going to spell some pretty nice weather for the coming days. As you look at a more regional view, we'll see temperatures tonight dropping to mainly in the lower 50s. Across the Capital District, 54 Saratoga Springs, 54 in Fort Edward, 55 Whitehall. Glens Falls will see an overnight low about 53 degrees and up towards higher elevation towards Johnsburg and Parrsville, basically about 50 degrees. We'll be under mostly clear skies, a southwest breeze about 5 miles per hour. For Thursday, mostly sunny skies, 73. Southwest breeze at 5 to 10 miles per hour. A mild start under mostly sunny skies as you walk out the door. We'll see generally in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. And then our extended forecast, we'll see temperatures warming back up slightly each day. Will be 73 for Thursday and Friday, 74 by the weekend, 75 into early next week. After morning lows Thursday and Friday in the lower 50s, we cooled down even further for low temperatures, just upper 40s for Saturday and Sunday, and then back to near 50 degrees for the overnight low on Monday. And we'll see mainly mostly sunny to sunny skies each day in the forecast, so get out there and enjoy this beautiful weather. That's a look at the first look weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponser. Now I send it back to you, Jesse.
Hey, thanks, Clarence. Man, the weather looks good. Okay, back to the news. Well, as we told you yesterday, Washington County Fair, full swing, a lot of events all week long. And the Washington County Fair Camp provides youth from inner city Albany with an opportunity to learn about agriculture. Camp kids visit farm museums and meet the future farmers of America. Well, we were at the fair today, and we spoke to Renee St. Jacques. She's Fair Camp Director.
It started back in 2012. We really wanted to give a chance for youth from the inner city, from Albany area, to come to the fair for free day at the fair, free admission, but also not just to go on the rides and enjoy the food, which they love, but also to receive an agricultural tour.
What a great experience for those kids, right? Okay, up next, I sit down with Michelle Larkin. She's Executive Director of Rebuilding Together Saratoga, and she's here to talk about this important organization and the store, which is open in Ballston Spa. Plus, I also sit down with Angela Miller. Now, she's owner of Consider Bardwell Farm, and we're joined by Kelly Taylor. She's co-owner of R.S. Taylor & Sons Brewery, and they're here to talk about the 2017 Washington County Cheese Tour. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. I've got a couple of lookouts. The first one has to go to Bob Blais, Mayor, Lake George. Anybody that knows Bob knows he loves his job. And like I was saying before, I think he's been mayor for like 40 years or something. Can you imagine what he's seen? But I can tell you, we talk to him a lot. Andrew especially goes up and talks to him to get news stories. And every time, you'd think he was just elected. You know, it's just really something. And there he is, with sunglasses on, at the farmer's market, signing his book. Congratulations, Bob. The other one has to go. We got word of a story coming out of Ticonderoga. Now, anybody who goes into Ticonderoga will know what I'm talking about when I say Trek-Conderoga. Believe it or not, right in the middle of Ticonderoga is a building that houses an absolute authentic reproduction of the bridge of the Starship Enterprise from Star Trek. And I'm not kidding. We've been there. We did a story on it last year. And this building contains an actual replica of the set that Paramount built down to the blueprints. It's really something to see. So James Cawley recently got news that they received a $300,000 donation to make certain that that museum survives and they are able to buy the building. It's big news. We're going back up for another interview, so stay tuned for that. Reminder, Taste of Travers is coming up this weekend. Big event, helps Saratoga Senior Center. Tonight on Look TV, Saratoga City Council, and don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.